We are now at the drill press. I found some of my machines on Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of people that just stopped woodworking, and by golly, I got this for only, I think, $120. And this machine really changed my guitar making exponentially. So what I have in my template is holes for the tuning machines. And then also there's holes for the location pins of the Spurzel tuners that I'll be using for this build. One thing to be mindful of that I really didn't do a whole lot when I first started using the drill press is taking advantage of being able to lock in. There's a locking mechanism on most, maybe not all. All right, so this piece here, you can lock in exactly where you want your drill press to stop. So in this case, I'm making it, if you right down here, I'm making it just going into my sacrifice board. So I can then tighten this. Then when I go to use this, it'll stop and it doesn't have to go farther than where you want it to go. In this case, I want this to stop just grazing my sacrifice board. Why do you have a sacrifice board? Well, I'm so glad you asked. It is paramount with drill presses to have sacrifice boards. Working with pieces like this that are big, I wanted a bigger table. Underneath this is like a little metal frame. And you most certainly, depending on your situation, don't want to take your drill bit into a metal frame. Or in some cases, maybe you do. I don't know. So I have the sacrifice board just as a peace of mind that I don't want to ruin anything. So here we go. I'm just going to drill out the holes. We're probably just going to fast forward through this because it's pretty boring. Here we go. Oh, safety glasses. I just start the bit into the hole so that's in there because I want to reuse this as many times as possible. I should probably explain this. Here's another tip that I had to learn the hard way. This template is on backwards. This, this is how you're playing. This is the orientation. So I have the template on backwards because I want the bit to come out this end because there is rough edges and you do have a little splitting. One of the next things that we are going to do is that we're going to have to take this headstock down, and then I want that splitting to happen where we're going to be removing material, not where the final product is going to be. So in some of my very first builds, I was lucky enough that the washer inside the tuning mechanism covered up some of that. We'll call it a mistake, I suppose. So I use the template reverse, so that way if there's any type of splintering or what have you, you can easily remove that on the next couple steps. The other thing is with this, I typically go down and remove a little bit of material, bring it back up, so that way I just don't, bore the whole bit all the way down. It tends to then start to burn and it's kind of a bit of a mess. Just little bits, bring it back up, little bits, bring it back up, little bits, bring it back up, and little, here we go. Now, if you see all this, not so nice splintering, that's not going to be a problem because we're going to be taking that out anyway. Sometimes the things do get kind of caked down there. You can make sure the machine is off, and then you can kind of take those pieces off like that, rather than keep continuing to have it on there. That's what usually starts to burn up and smoke a little bit. Okay, so now we're at the point where we have the holes marked so we can take the template off. We are done with this. I take a putty knife and just kind of get it in there as nice and equally as possible. And I try to just, in different places, lift the template from the body as such. And all done. Thank you for your service once again, Mr. Template. And take the tape off. Just like that. Now, we're going to pretend that went in. Now, as you can see, hopefully, you can see where the transfer locations are because they're quite indented into this maple neck. Now, we just had to make those dents holes. Okay, so before I actually do this, you're probably wondering why is there a piece of tape on here, or you've already figured it out. So I really just want to put a little bit of a hole for the location pin. It gives you just a little bit of a guide. I've found that this helps way more than just like, oh, I can eyeball it. You know, it's just not a good idea. So what we're gonna do is drill into the wood for the location pins. But I will tell you, doing this early like this and applying your finish, the finish will get into the holes and you're going to have to bore a little bit of that out so that the tuner will actually sit in there properly. So just pre-warn you, you'll have to do it more than once. But at least you have your markers done correctly. All right, so there we go. We drilled it. So with the holes are there, we don't have to worry about that any longer. Up next is we're going to route the truss rod channel so we can get the truss rod installed, and we'll work on the fretboard.